Hi, my name is Alice and I'm founder and executive coach at Spark Your Passion. In this video, I want to talk about how you can get that motivation, that inspiration back in your work. So for so many people, they reach a certain level and they start to lose that that motivation, that excitement that they once had for their work. And they resign themselves to the fact that this is how it is. That at a certain point, you just have to give up on the fact that work can be anything other than what you have to get through. But that absolutely does not have to be the case. And in this video, I'm going to explain to you how you can find that back. So if you find yourself in a situation where you're no longer enjoying your work and maybe you're looking to do something different, I'm sure the first thing that you do is go on a jobs board, scroll and look for something you hope will jump off the page. But you're not finding it and you're scrolling and unfortunately after an hour or two or three, you actually feel even more disengaged and you start to think, well, maybe there is nothing out there that will excite you, and you just resign yourself to the fact that you have to stay where you are. And the problem is you're doing it backwards. So you are trying to find something externally to fill a hole internally. Whereas what you need to be doing is looking internally first and then going externally. And don't worry, you're not alone. Pretty much everybody does it this way. So what can you do to find that internal excitement? Well, you need to be very clear on what it is you're looking for. And most people, if you ask them, what is it you want? They can't answer that question. It's a very simple question with a very complex answer. So before you look externally to try to find that job, you need to look internally and understand, what is it that I really want? And there are some exercises that you can do that will help you discover what that is. So the first thing you want to do is think back on 3 jobs or roles that you've had that have really excited you. When you think of those different roles that you were doing, really go into the detail and try to understand, what is it about those roles that you loved so much? So try to think about, what was the setup like? What was the team like? What were you working on? How did it make you feel? Why did it make you feel that way? What was the environment like? What was the team structure like? Was it an independent role, a team role? Were you managing? Were you leading? Were you teaching? Were you working with people? Really go right into the detail and do this same exercise for those 3 different roles. And if you really can't think of 3 roles that you loved, you can also choose 3 experiences from your life where you've really been happy. And really take your time with this. As I say, you want to go right into the detail, and ideally you want to put yourself back in that time. So try to imagine what it was you were feeling when you were in those roles or those times in your life, and try to physically feel how it made you feel. Then you want to do the same exercise thinking about 3 companies you would love to work at. So either companies you've worked at that you really love, or companies you aspire to work at. What is it about those companies that you love? What is their structure? What are their values, their mission statement? What are the type of people that they hire? How do they work? Are they very process driven? Are they a very traditional company? What is it about them that makes you want to work there? What is it you hope working there will make you feel? So do that for the 3 companies you've either worked at or that you aspire to work at. Now these 2 exercises should take half an hour to an hour to do. Really go into the detail. Really take your time. Once you've done that, find the common themes. So you'll start to see across those 3 different roles, they might be very different roles, but there will be some common themes that are coming through them. And the same with the companies. What are those common themes about those organizations that you really aspire to work at? So I will give you an example. For me, I worked in recruitment for 10 years, and when I did this exercise, I realized the reason I loved it so much is because In most of the roles I had in recruitment, what I got to do that I really enjoy was I got to connect with people, and I love connecting with people. I got to serve people, and I love serving people. I love making people's lives better. So I would work with candidates and I would help them interview better. I would help guide them into what their next role would be. I would work with organizations and I would help managers fill a gap in their organization. And what I also love doing is helping people get better. So I really believe that people can be so much better than they think in their mind when they think their cap is. I believe they can just smash through that. So later on, I got to work on trainings. And this meant, again, I was connecting with people, I was serving people, I was building. So it's not actually when I think that recruitment, and ordinarily I wouldn't think, oh yeah, recruitment, that is a career that I would definitely love. But the reason I enjoyed it is because it touched on aspects that are really important to me. So take your time with that exercise. By the time you've done that, you should see some common themes as to why you like those roles, why you like those companies. Then you want to do the same thing, looking at roles and companies, but roles and companies that you hate. So think about 3 roles you had that you absolutely hated, that it just drained you of energy, you did not enjoy it, you didn't feel you did your best work, you didn't feel you were your best person when you did it. And again, ask yourself, what was it about those roles that made you feel that way? What was the setup? What were you working on? Who were you working with? Really try to pinpoint, the key themes as to why you did not enjoy those roles. And then the same with the companies. What are 3 companies, again, you've either worked at or that you would really not want to work at? What is it about them? Is it that they're very traditional and you are a very cutting edge person? Or is it that you would hate to work at a startup because you like things to be very process driven and organized? So again, really try to define what is it about those organizations that you would absolutely hate to work at, the why behind that. Again, pull out those common themes. So now you should have the common themes for the roles that you love and the organizations you love, and the roles you hate and the organizations you hate. Putting them next to each other, really seeing why you didn't like certain roles and why you don't want to work at certain companies should help to highlight why you do like certain roles and you do like certain companies. So by doing that exercise, the polar opposites there, you're really helping to highlight more of the why behind the why of what you like. So once you've done those exercises, you've got your common themes there. Now what I want you to do, I want you to go blue sky and I want you to write out the perfect role. So based on those common themes of the company and the roles you love, write out what the perfect job and in the perfect company, what that would look like. And go blue sky. Don't start auditing yet. Really, let your imagination go. Now when you look at that, that should get you excited. So once you've written down what that ideal job should be based on the exercise, looking at that, you should think, wow, oh my God, this is really what I want to do. If you don't feel that excitement, do the exercise again and keep doing it until when you read that, you get so excited that you realize this is it, this is absolutely what I need to be doing. Now, I'm sure a lot of you are thinking, okay, yeah, Alice, that's great, but probably that job doesn't exist. And you're probably right. Maybe it does, but most likely there isn't a job that ticks every single box. So the final thing you want to do is you want to look through that ideal job you've written for yourself and you want to highlight the absolute must-haves. So what are your non-negotiables? What will you not compromise on? Because for the rest, they might be your nice-to-haves, but there are going to be some key topics that are absolute must-haves for you. And no matter what you're doing, those topics have to be in the role or have to be in the organization. That is going to be your beacon. That is going to guide you when you are trying to find that motivation, that excitement back. So when you're looking for that new job, those non-negotiables, that is what you need to be searching for. And you might look at it and think, actually there's quite a jump from where I am to getting to that. So this can also be your guide on how do you get to what it is you want. What areas are you lacking where you could already start doing training? You could already start doing some research, connecting with people. When you're looking for jobs, this is what you need to be focusing back on. When you have interviews, you need to be asking them questions to check, do they tick the box for me? Do they have everything that I'm looking for? And if they don't, you should really be walking away. Because if you've done this exercise properly and you really know what it is you want, what excites you, and what are your non-negotiables, there's no point in taking on another role or job that doesn't have them, because you will just find yourself in the same situation in 6 months' time once the novelty of a new role has worn off. So those are the key exercises you can do to find your excitement back. Those are some really practical tools that you can use there. Take the time to do this. Let me know in the comments what you found. Maybe tell me your top 2 themes that you found when you did this exercise. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. As always, I hope you've enjoyed the video and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.